So about a couple days ago, episode 6 of Dragon Ball Daima released. This has been a series I've been wanting to talk about since its first episode, honestly, but I wanted to let the series get its feet wet a little bit before I made any judgments. But now that episode 6 released, I'm pretty confident in saying that Dragon Ball Daima is amazing so far. But why is that exactly? Today I just wanted to take the time to go over the elements of Dragon Ball Daima that really stick out to me and really just talk about what makes this series so good as it stands right now. So in case any of you have been living under a rock for the past couple of months and don't know what Dragon Ball Daima is for some reason, Dragon Ball Daima is the latest animated Dragon Ball project, signaling a return to the series' much earlier vibes, as Goku and the rest of the gang have been turned into chibi versions of themselves, after the current Demon King Goma makes a wish to Shenron. You know, it's kind of ironic when you think about it, we just got Superhero basically a year before at this point, where Goten and Trunks finally got to be teenagers again, and now they're babies, so that's one of the reasons people were skeptical about the show, myself included. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you, right? But once you look past that and really see the show for what it is, you're met with the same vibes that we saw in the original Dragon Ball, that sense of adventure and wonder that's kind of been lost as the series has progressed, which isn't to the fault of Toriyama himself, that's just how the series progressed. Because Goku has reverted to the form of a first grader, Goku isn't necessarily capable of showcasing his full power at all times, meaning that he has to go back to the basics, relying on his power pole and the Nimbus to get around places. And I think that that's just really cool because these are things we haven't seen in a long time. You can definitely tell there's a much bigger focus on Goku's martial arts capabilities, as he's not really capable of just one-shotting any enemy he comes across, and I think that just makes the fights really engaging so far. Of course, the animation of Daima is absolutely astounding. There's no real better way to put it. This show probably has the best visual adaptation of Toriyama's art style from the Dragon Ball manga, as was shown in the very first episode. The montage of events that took place during the Majin Buu arc was probably the most accurate depiction of Toriyama's art style I've ever seen in animated Dragon Ball media before. Of course, the actual fights in Dragon Ball Daima are pretty excellent. The fight in the first episode with Goku and Vegeta, many of the skirmishes that Goku has with a plethora of enemies, and the most recent episode where Goku has a fight against Glorio to decide which one of them would fight a Minotaur of all things. This fight in particular was definitely the best one so far, not only because of the hand-to-hand combat and back and forth between Goku and Glorio, but also that we got to see what Glorio was really capable of on top of seeing Goku go Super Saiyan. It had been such a long time since they've done the more drawn out Super Saiyan transformation, so I'm especially glad that we're getting to see it again in Daima, because those have always been some of the coolest transformations in the series. Just the aspect of seeing Goku and any other character that could go Super Saiyan just channel the power to go Super Saiyan and having it take a couple seconds as opposed to it being instant has always been such a nice touch, so I'm glad to see it make a return here. I will say that the fights aren't necessarily the focal point of Daima, as the focal point of Daima is exploration, the sense of adventure that Dragon Ball once had in Goku's early days. Goku and gang just traveling around the demon world, trying to save Dende and restore themselves to their adult states, really invokes this sense of coziness and comfiness, and this also reflects in the character interactions as well, as you can definitely tell that the series is trying to recapture that sense of comedy that the series had previously, given that Toriyama placed a lot of emphasis on comedy in Dragon Ball's earlier days. The comedic element of Dragon Ball slowly began to dissipate as the series progressed and things became much more serious, but by the series end, i.e. the Majin Buu arc, you can definitely tell that Toriyama wanted to utilize much more comedy, as there is a lot more moments during the Majin Buu arc where characters are kind of just acting unserious, for lack of a better term. I didn't have much of a problem with it in the Majin Buu arc, but with a series like Daima, the comedic undertone definitely fits a lot more. Also, off topic, but I feel like it's worth mentioning anyway, what is it with the Potara fusion just sucking? Why does it have so many drawbacks to it? Toriyama really likes the gas excuse for why the Potara fusion is really whack, and I think it's just kind of funny. You could definitely tell he was trolling with this one, which is fair enough, it's Toriyama after all. Since I mentioned Glorio and the Demon Realm before anyway, I might as well talk about the world building and the new characters exclusive to Dragon Ball Daima. First, starting with the world building. I've always been of the belief that Dragon Ball has such interesting yet untapped lore, and Toriyama in his run with Dragon Ball established many things but never truly elaborated on them completely. So I think it's awesome that now we're getting to see the Demon Realm in its entirety when we only really got to see glimpses of it before. It's only been like 6 episodes of Daima, but in those 6 episodes, we've gotten so much in relation to the nature of the demon world, the environment, how many demon worlds are within the demon realm, the fact that the number of Dragon Balls within the demon realm is different from the number of Dragon Balls on Earth in Universe 7, how people within the demon realm traverse from the demon realm to other places outside within the vast multiverse of the Dragon Ball universe, and they do so by being swallowed up by this giant space fish that's emotionally sensitive, along with them showing the different types of races that can be found within the demon realm, and showing different types of cultures as well as the oppression that some people in the demon realm face under King Goma's tyrannical rule. I especially love the little tidbit that we got about how the original Namekians actually herald from the demon realm. It's something small, but gives a lot of context to certain events. They have hinted at a potential new fusion in the future. Now, whether or not that's actually going to happen in Daima is up in the air, but if it does happen, that would be pretty cool to see. Also, we can never, ever let Bulma get a hand of this guy right here. If Bulma ever gets a hand of him, it is over for Shenron. What we've seen of the Demon Realm so far has me very excited for what the second Demon Realm and first Demon Realms are going to be like once we get a little deeper into the show. Now, out of all the new characters that have been introduced in Dragon Ball Daima, I would definitely say that Glorio is probably my favorite, though there haven't really been that many characters, but I do like the sort of eerie vibes that he gives off. We don't really know that much about him, but every episode sort of makes Glorio more and more mysterious, but at the same time, I especially love the way he fights, and that his magic revolves around lightning powers. He's Palpatine in Dragon Ball form, and I love that. It's definitely really cool to see the different types of magic that people from the Demon Realm are capable of. Overall, Glorio has been really cool, and I can't wait to see more of what he does and how he interacts with the rest of the characters. I've had really high expectations for Dragon Ball Daima ever since it was announced, and I really looked past the initial premise, and so far, 6 episodes in, Dragon Ball Daima has superseded all of them, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the series looks like going forward. This was just a quick video that I wanted to make yap a little bit about Daima because this series has a lot of potential to be even more amazing than it already is. Let me know what you guys think about Dragon Ball Daima in the comments below if you're watching it, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.